And now, from the ABC6 Sports Team, the 2025 ABC6 Sports Football Kickoff.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for joining us as we present you the ABC6 2025 Football Kickoff Special. I'm Sports Director Jose Solis.
And I'm Sports Reporter Jordan Austen. The prep football season is right around the corner, and we've spent the last few weeks spanning our area talking with our local teams as they prepare to chase a state title. So let's start right here in Rochester. The John Marshall Rockets continue to improve every year, and after being a win away from the state tournament a season ago, it seems that breaking through is that next step. Now the go ahead, sorry.
So, no, you're good. No fumble on the play. Rockets preparing the right way, too, playing a scrimmage against back-to-back state champions in Stewartville, all part of head coach Kyle Riggett's effort to keep challenging his program in the pursuit of lofty goals.
I mean, obviously, like, everyone has that thing on the wall. We want to get to state, you know, but not every team gets to do that. I think our challenge is going to be to continue to be process-driven and go 1-0, win one game at a time, and be right where our feet are.
All starts for the Rockets when they host Apple Valley to begin the season this Friday.
And now heading down the I-90 to Spamtown for a look at the Austen Packers, who would like to forget last season. Now, more often than not, they ended up beating themselves and ultimately posting a winless season. So heading into a new campaign, there's a new focus in the Packer locker room, making sure a new culture and mindset spread to the whole roster.
And I think some of those other guys just didn't quite know what to do or how to step up in the right way. So I think having that outline makes it a little easier for us to step up as leaders.
If an older classman sees a younger kid, we're working harder or doing better than them. I don't want to have this guy come take my job. I want to play on varsity. So I think getting on those younger kids and making them show aggression really builds up the entire foundation. Because if you start at the bottom, you work your way to the top.
Now the Packers get going a day early, Thursday, against New Ulm. And now you can't mention our local football teams without the utterly dominant Stewartville Tigers.
Now, last year marked 2 straight undefeated seasons for the Tigers, reaching the state title twice as they search for a three-peat. But if they do get that third one, it's going to be a different trophy because now the Tigers are in 4A. While competing there is nothing new, a full autumn of 4A teams is a tantalizing challenge.
I mean, it's going to be competitive every day. We see everyone's getting their all, which is great. We need that for us to have another successful season. I feel like where we need to be, it's just if we can execute the little things.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can do with this team. Obviously, a lot of new guys, but it's opportunities to prove what we can do and not just what past teams have done, to really just show everyone that we're good too and we're going to go and find a way to win.
Tigers start on Thursday as well, but they're on the road against Benilde St. Margaret.
And off the heels of back-to-back section championships, the Black Hole Student Section is sure to be rocking once again in Byron. With more than 15 seniors graduated from the Bears program last year, this season's squad has even more experience. 26 seniors, meaning less two-way players, which could be the new normal at Byron.
And it's just become really like a good culture around here as far as like our older guys know that they're going to play when they're old. We don't have to play a lot of young kids, and that's a big deal, right? Just the whole mentality of I'm old, I get it, as opposed to like I'm super green and the lights are really bright on Friday night. So our kids are pretty seasoned and veteran, and we're happy about that.
Now the Bears start the 2025 season at the Academy of Holy Angels. And now we'll pivot back south of the border, taking a look at the Mason City Riverhawks.
Yeah, and the Riverhawks are going to see a lot of teams that are expected to be in Class 4A's top 10 in Iowa. Getting behind early was a problem for them last season, so it's going to require a lot of change to avoid that this time. And the turnaround might just start on their offense. Quarterback Jameer Falls threw for nearly 1,600 yards last year with his top 3 wide receivers back, including Drew Hobart, who likes the Riverhawks' chances.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we have a really solid passing game. So I think we try to elevate our running game and really work on that in the offseason. And if we can get that ball moving on the run game, I think we can be a really, really good overall team. So I mean, I think if we're in the game in the first and second, I think we have a good chance.
First up for Mason City is a trip to Fort Dodge for their 110th meeting next Friday.
And just a short drive from Mason City to the Lions Den in Clear Lake. And this is a team that knows its state material, but just hasn't punched through in their past few tries. The Lions are still recovering from an abrupt end to last year's season, allowing a touchdown in the final minutes of the game. But the pride of this Lions team is anything but hurt. Starting quarterback Jackson McIntyre is coming back, along with Sam Dodge, who carried the ball for almost 500 yards last season, and they are hungry for a title. Clear Lake's last 2 seasons have ended after allowing scores in the final minutes. And the long road back to the playoffs starts against Forest City in Week 1. And the Charles City Comets couldn't stay hot last season. Entering the 2025 season, they are set on commanding field position offensively. And Deacon Caspers had a superb 1,365 yards rushing in 2024 and 14 touchdowns. And he knows the offense doesn't solely run through him, but he's ready to take off when needed for Charles City. And the Comets host Olwayne to begin the fall campaign this coming Friday. And now we'll still have plenty more to talk about, but I think now is a pretty good time for a break. So why don't we call it a water break?
Yeah, sure. We'll stick around, though. Stick around, folks, because plenty of teams still to come, including the Mayo Spartans, KM Comets, and much more when we come back. Welcome back. Let's continue our 2025 football kickoff special by heading on over to Mayo High School here in Rochester.
Now, Spartan football is back in Class 5A, and after being at Minnesota's top level of prep football, playing against those 6A schools proved to be a slog for the Spartans. Now back in more familiar waters, this year's seniors are attacking it with experience and a focus on depth.
We have a lot of experience on our starting level, but it's really getting our secondaries up to speed, because last year was really tiring, and there was plenty of times where everyone on the team, they can't go the whole game. So it's getting that same rotation back and getting those younger guys up to speed.
Now, game 1 for the Spartans is against the Chaska Hawks.
Now let's move on over to Dodge County for a look at Cassamanerville. Although they lost the second championship last season, KM is competitive year in and year out. Comets work a lot of option reads into their offense, and for it to work, the whole team needs to be unselfish and disciplined.
When that touchdown happened, it wasn't player A, it was the whole team doing it. Because anybody takes a break on it in the option game, you got problems.
First game for KM is on the road against St. Paul Central on August 29th. Moving to Chatfield, the defending 1-2A champions will have a number of new players on the field this season after losing 15 seniors from a year ago. Heading into the fall, head coach Jeff Johnson's playbook is getting an overhaul.
So many fresh faces this year. We have to start over at ground zero, and we've got to work on our pressures and our coverage. I think we've got some kids that are ready to take on those roles. We're really teaching 15, 16, 17-year-olds to play as fast as they possibly can.
Gophers begin 2025 against Lourdes this Friday, and it's also going to be our first game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Another team now with some playbook changes is down in Iowa. We're talking about the Crestwood Cadets.
That's right. The Cadets graduated a hefty 18 seniors from last year's squad, including the entire backfield, along with all but one offensive lineman. But new recruits are reporting for duty, and with newfound strength in the passing game, we could see a change from the run-first style of play as the Cadets look to make program history with a 4th straight playoff appearance. And in Forest City, the Indians football is set to begin year 2 under coach Tyler Anderson. But there's been a lot of senior turnover, and junior Ty Sopko is the top returning wideout. With just shy of 300 yards and 4 touchdowns last season, he's someone Anderson believes will lift up the youth at that position.
This team needs him as a leader more than anything, whether that's helping the other receivers out, making sure they know what they're doing, or helping make sure we have the right people in the huddle. He's helps us out on the field more than just catching the ball.
Now defensively, the Indians have a good thing going in the trenches, putting tons of pressure on their opponents. In Garner, Hayfield, and Ventura, 3 separate towns, but together they are one flock in Cardinal country.
Right. Much like other programs, there were a number of Cardinals to leave the nest last season, but the young guns in Garner are already stepping up to fill those shoes with physical play. The offensive line will look to stay strong and pave the way for Parker Stearns, one of 2 returning running backs for the Cardinals as they start the year against the powerhouse of West Hancock. Now, I think we can call this one at the halftime break. We still have a lot of teams to look at, Jordan.
Tons to come still. A preseason preview of the Lourdes Eagles, Triton Cobras, and so much more still ahead. Stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us in our 2025 Football Kickoff special. We're going to continue by going to our third Rochester team.
It's the Lourdes Eagles, and they're also undergoing a class change, switching from 3A to 2A. But their schedule is not going to be any less challenging. Lourdes was not a high-scoring team a year ago, and the defense often allowed high numbers on the scoreboard. And senior Ed Lovely believes the team didn't always channel frustration into action, so playing with a fierce passion can go a long way.
Didn't think we had enough anger after we got a first down on us. Like this year, if people get first downs, we should be angry and wanting to fight harder.
We've been working on keeping that effort high, that energy. As long as we got that energy, our team really builds off each other, and one big play and we're off to the races.
And just a reminder that Lourdes versus Chatfield game this coming Friday will be our first game of the week.
The Albertville Tigers were just a team of Cubs a year ago. With a new season rolling around, they've done plenty of growing now. Albertville is going to see one of the biggest senior classes in recent memory. Nearly every stat leader from 2024 is back, and they've been building something special.
We've been with each other since third grade, probably just playing together, so we have a lot of experience together and kind of know what each other are going to do.
We have a lot of chemistry together. I feel like we're all just, we know the ball is going to be, we know where each other are going to be. It's just like, you can just feel like everything's going to go right when you're out there. Then we trust each other to make plays. We trust each other to do the right thing. I feel like you can't go wrong just having the trust there.
Game 1 for the Tigers will be at home against Tri-City United.
Heading over to Dodge Center, the Triton Cobras are hoping they have enough venom to make it all the way to the state championship this year. After back-to-back section title wins and plenty of skill position starters returning, their eyes are set on competing for that state title, making sure the new faces are up to the challenge. And Triton has Goodhue to begin the season in week 1. Now let's head over to the home of the Knights of Kenyon Wanamingo, who will be quite the young team this coming fall.
They will. 15 seniors gone from the program, leaving KW in a position where they need to grow up in a hurry. The best way to speed up that process is to have the best attitude and prove you wanted more.
It's just the guys who want to go after it, right? Who are going to show up and have that relentless effort every play. Nobody has to be a specific height or weight or anything like that. We want guys who will go and attack and get after it.
The Knights start the season against Zembroda Mazeppa on August 28th at home. Another Knights team joined on the round table is Spring Valley, the Kingsland Knights, aiming to get back to state after falling in the 9-player section title game. This year they have numerous spots where new talent's coming in, and it's along the offensive line where Kingsland needs to be sharp, so dual threat Kaleem Ryland can flash on the ground and in the air. The Knights begin this Friday at Bethlehem Academy in Faribault. Over in Hayfield, the team has a few doubters to prove wrong over there, Jordan.
Yes, Vikings football has been a work in progress under Coach Derek Thompson, but he believes this year's crew has an opportunity to shine, especially with the return of running back Cale Steele, who lost half of last year due to injury.
I feel most of us need to learn every play and know every position, because with the amount of depth we have, we don't have enough players in case someone gets hurt. We need to have someone that knows every single play.
It's tough, but we're not the only ones that are conditioning. These other teams are conditioning just as hard. You have to be willing to push yourself past your limits. So.
Now, Hayfield football begins the season hosting Medford on August 29th. Now we're going to take a break one more time, and when we come back, it's the final stretch before the whistle starts the season.
Right on. After the break, our fourth quarter stretch begins with the Panthers, Cougars, and more coming up after the break. Thanks for staying with us for the 2025 football preview special. We're in the fourth quarter now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it's the final stretch, and we'll start it with a look at our final Rochester school, the Century Panthers. Last year's winless campaign has been indicative of a downward trend. Younger players outnumbering upperclassmen, but with the stronger showing of seniors now, this is the year that Century aims to buck that trend.
We're on our schedule just to start the year. We felt that as our kids grew, we got much better. And really at the end of the year, we were playing our best football. So, that was our real issue, is the fact that we had to grow up fast.
Now the Panthers start their season hosting Tartan in front of the home crowd on the 29th. Now let's head to Goodhue County and visit the Zembroda Mazeppa Cougars. ZM stumbled out of the gates a year ago, but turned things around, ending the regular season with 3 straight wins. And with a few core skill players returning to start again, the Cougars are hoping to pick up right where they left off.
I think everyone has the same goal.
Past years we haven't been a super successful team, but last year we got a really good taste of success, and I think everyone's really hungry for more.
Everyone just wants to get after it and go, and that's the best part. That's what makes football fun. Gets me going, at least makes everyone else want to do it, is when everyone's just excited, and that makes it easy.
Now, as for the Falcons of Fillmore Central, they're not afraid of postseason competition. They were a win away from going back to the state tournament last year, and they see no reason why they should miss out this fall, especially since a substantial core of the offense is returning, from quarterback Brendan Ball to 3 offensive linemen. But depth continues to be where the Falcons shine. When one standout graduates, another one slides right in. The Falcons start week 1 at JWP on the road.
The Northwood Kensington Vikings have a lot on their plate as they undergo another change at the head coaching position, and it takes a lot of toughness to play 8-man football. The Vikings sure have it, though, with their leading rusher and nearly whole offensive line back. There should be no reason for the Vikings to slow down in week 1.
And for the first time in a while, Section 1 didn't have a team playing for the 9-player state title.
Yeah, the Cardinals of Leroy Ostrander and Lyle Pacelli, they came close with the help of Minnesota Mr. Football Cam Hungerhold, but Big Red still has a Hungerhold as their signal caller this year, Cam's younger brother, Reed.
Coaches have been great with helping me out, and I talked to Cam too, and he helps me out with a lot of the QB position, so yeah, it's been good. It's going to be really exciting to prove myself and come at a new position and play make, and we got a lot of playmakers on the team that are going to go out there and make plays every night.
First on the schedule for the Cards is the Spring Grove Lions.
And for our final team of the night, nothing is guaranteed in the regular season, but when it comes to being serious state tournament contenders, few teams in our area are as consistent as West Hancock. Yet it's not much about solely focusing on state as it is about checking off the smaller tasks.
You can't set the goal to be a state title at the beginning of the year because there's a lot of things to take care of before that. And we'd be lying to our kids. We always tell them, take care of the little things, big things take care of themselves. By the time you get into the playoffs, you start making a deep run, then you can start looking at the big picture.
Eagles start 2025 against Garner Havel Ventura this Friday.
And well, the fourth quarter has now come and gone, and that's now all we have left is the postgame.
We're going to wrap up the kickoff special here after the break. Stay tuned. Well, we've come to the end of the road here on our 2025 ABC6 Football Kickoff Special. Now, again, if you miss any of this, we will have it on our website. We'll post it as soon as we can to KAAL-TV.com. Jordan, I am so ready. I'm so ready. Thursday can't come soon enough, and neither can Friday. And let's talk a little bit about our game of the week real quick, because we mentioned earlier in the show we're going to have Leeward versus Chatfield over at the Gophers' home turf. So what do you think of this?
Well, just hearing what we talked about, having the Chatfield kind of make that offensive switch, they had a lot of motion in their offense last year, and now hearing they're opening up the playbook, there's all kinds of things that could surprise us.
And we'll see if Leeward has anything in their bag of tricks. Anyway, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you later. See you soon.